My partner announced she'd secured a $75,000 loan using my identity for our big day. "Surprise, it's going to be flawless," she said. I shot back. "You're full of shocks." Next, I filed a report for identity theft and fraud, and soon federal authorities hauled her away mid-dress try-on for charges of wire fraud and forgery. Original post: 36M, I'm parked in my flat, gazing at FBI documents, still wrapping my head around how the lady I was set to wed in just 3 months is now staring down serious federal indictments. About 2 weeks back, my fiancée, Natalie, 33, shattered our shared dreams with what she dubbed a thoughtful present. We'd been a couple for 4 years, betrothed for the last one. The ceremony was slotted for September. Not extravagant, around 80 attendees, a decent hall, all the trimmings. We'd settled on a $25,000 cap. I'd stashed away $15,000. She insisted she had the remaining $10,000 covered. It felt doable. Then arrived that fateful Thursday that flipped our world. I was handling remote work when Natalie exploded through the entrance around noon, buzzing with glee. "Honey, I've got the ultimate reveal. Our ceremony will be impeccable." She whipped out her tablet, flipping through pics. An upscale location swap, a high-end gown pricier than my ride, a multi-layered confection, a star-studded coordinator, blooms imported from Ecuador. "Natalie, this appears stunning, but we're short on funds." "That's the twist," she grinned ear to ear. "I sorted it out. I arranged financing." "Financing?" We'd vowed zero borrowing for the event. "But hear me out, it's under your details, so the rates were superior. Your score is stellar." "Mine's lagging from grad school debts, it's sensible." A chill hit me hard. "What exactly do you mean under my details?" She fished out a binder. "Financing papers. $75,000, my info, my ID number, my mimicked autograph. I rehearsed your scribble for ages to nail it." "Isn't that sweet?" I gawked at her. This lady truly believed mimicking my mark on a $75,000 deal was endearing. "Natalie, that's outright deceit." Her grin wavered. "It's not deceit, we're tying the knot. Your assets become ours. We're not hitched yet, and married or not, mimicking docs is unlawful. You're blowing this out of proportion. I pulled this off for us." I rose, retreated to the sleeping quarters, and bolted it shut. "Phoned my sibling, who's in law enforcement." He confirmed my gut. This screamed identity misuse, electronic deceit, document mimicry, major federal violations. As Natalie pounded the barrier, sobbing about me wrecking it all, I handled 3 steps. First, contacted the institution, flagged the bogus financing. Reviewed my financial history. She'd snuck in 2 extra cards I was clueless about. Third, dialed the FBI's scam line. The officer perked up at the sum and the interstate angle. The financing came from a web-based outfit in a different region. Update 1. The following dawn, with Natalie off at her wellness session, I headed to the FBI outpost bearing every scrap I could gather. The financing forms, the hidden card bills, captures of her messages owning up to it. She'd even boasted in her attendant squad's chat about her clever fix. Special Agent Rodriguez eyed the mimicked marks and let out a quiet whistle. "This woman figured this flew. She assumes the union erases it. Legality doesn't bend that way." They launched a nationwide probe on the spot. Electronic deceit past $50K is a hefty federal matter. The mimicked marks were eerily spot on. She'd evidently drilled it hard, proving intent. Back home, Natalie lurked with her mom, Barbara, and sibling Qley. "How could you?" Barbara howled. "Natalie spilled what you pulled, sixing the FBI on your intended." "She pulled deceit, Barbara. She was crafting your event, using funds she swiped by mimicking your mark." Qley chimed in. "It's not swiping if vows are incoming." "Man, you're such a drama king." Natalie wept those calculated pity drops. "I only craved our moment flawless. Every woman envisions her ideal right. Not every woman pulls federal offenses for it. You're truly tanking my world over this? You tanked it yourself mimicking official financing docs." Barbara vowed to broadcast to all how I was the villain. "Everyone will learn you got your betrothed cuffed." "Fine, spill the real reason too." I handed Natalie official removal notice. She held no tenancy rights. She had a month to vacate. The uproar that ensued likely breached a few decibel laws. But the highlight? Natalie attempted to tap one of the bogus cards she'd snuck in my name to snag legal help. It bounced flat since I'd locked them down. Update 2. The arrogance ramped up fast. Natalie relocated to her folks' place but exited with flair. Initially, she leaned on the guilt trip, popped up at my office bearing blooms in tears. "Come on, just claim it was a mix-up. We can proceed with vows." Guards ushered her off when I alerted them, then the clan barrage hit. Her dad, Richard, rang. This guy who'd stayed mum through our whole run abruptly voiced views. "Son, let's think straight," Natalie slipped up. A whopper granted, but easing off the pursuit is proper. "I didn't launch the pursuit, Richard. The feds did. Once fraud at this scale gets flagged, it's beyond me. There must be a workaround." "There is. I'm aiding the probe. You're obliterating her path over event prep. She obliterated it via electronic deceit." He clicked off. Then Barbara switched tactics. She actually dangled a payoff. "Appeared at my pad with a $10,000 draft. This ought to offset your hassle. Just inform the FBI it was a blunder." "Barbara, that's dangling a payoff to a federal informant. That's criminal too." Her complexion drained. "You wouldn't snitch on me? Test it." She bolted post-haste. But Natalie persisted. She kicked off an online blitz, sharing how her tyrannical former was scheming to wreck her over craving a grand event. Reactions divided. Some swallowed it, others noted deceit remains deceit. Then she blundered big. She whipped up phony messages, faking them as mine, confessing I was in on the financing and greenlit it. She fired these to the FBI lead, betting it'd clear her. Special Agent Rodriguez rang me in under 60 minutes. "Your betrothed just tacked on evidence fabrication and probe interference to her tally. The messages traced to an IP at her folks' address." The takedown hit 3 days on. Update 3, Agent Rodriguez buzzed me at 2 p.m. midweek. "We're cuffing Miss Morrison today. Figured you'd want the heads up." "Whereabouts?" Per her online posts, a gown session at 3 at Bella's bridal. The twist was poetic. I skipped spectating, but word spread wide. Feds strolled into Bella's bridal as Natalie posed atop the platform in a $12,000 frock funded by a bogus card. Her attendants were present. Mom, sis, the crew. Per onlookers, she bolted, in bridal attire, with trailing fabric. She covered maybe 10 steps before stumbling on the drag. The cuffing clip exploded online since an attendant streamed it live, aiming to capture the session. Remarks were savage. Rawful, she figured mimicking Marks was fine. Her tumble in that frock. Picture felonies for a right. Barbara lunged at the feds and earned her own cuffs for meddling. Qley captured it all, howling about unfairness and destined romance. Local outlets grabbed it. Prospective bride nabbed at gown try-on in $75 K scam plot. That's when prior targets surfaced. Update 4, I wasn't Natalie's initial mark. Post-arrest buzz, 3 exes pinged me. Tom with her 2018 to 2019. She'd snuck cards in his name. Amassed 20K, he'd settled it to ditch her, as she menaced spilling abuse tailies if he flagged it. Miguel, 2016 to 2017. She'd mimicked his mark on rental papers and ditched, saddling him with rent arrears. She called it charming that she eyed a swanky spot for them. Derek dated her briefly. She'd offloaded his wheels during his work jaunt and blew the cash on splurges. Title scam. He'd stayed mum from shame. We linked at a pub, 4 dudes whose worlds she'd upended. Derek hauled proof, actual records. He'd archived it all, plus chats where Natalie owned selling his ride, but labeled him shallow for prizing junk over their bond. We pooled a file with our proofs and shipped it to the FBI. The probe ballooned. Extra federal counts piled on. The lead counsel deemed it a decade-long deceit streak. Barbara, freed on bond from her meddling rap, rang me weeping. "You've gutted our clan." Natalie's eyeing years locked up. "Natalie gutted herself, Barbara. I quit at victim 5. She merely chased luxuries. Is that wrong?" The deceit angle is yes. You could have covered the right. Using what? Funds she pilfered from me? You're meant to sustain your spouse. She's no spouse, thankfully. The betrothal banned. Natalie balked at returning it, dubbing it hers. I dragged her to minor claims to reclaim it. She arrived in ivory garb and pitched to the bench that holding it offset her heartache. The bench, a seasoned female jurist who'd witnessed it all, peered over specs. "Madam, federal deceit looms. The band reverts to him." Natalie wailed, the setup targeted gals seeking affection. Update 5. The federal hearing was pegged 6 months ahead, but the chaos rolled on. Natalie, loose on bond with a leg tracker, bet her shield was claiming ethereal union, nulling the deceit. She tapped a mystic guide off a classified ad who proclaimed our essences linked in higher planes, rendering the financing joint. She pushed this as proof. Her state-funded counsel appeared ready to vanish. Then unfolded the cafe clash. I was snagging a brew when Natalie entered with Qley. Spotting me, she burst into loud sobs, collapsing. "Why deny mercy? I adore you." Heads turned, I aimed to exit, she clutched my limb. "Beg them it was a slip." "Vows await." "Natalie, you're breaching bond terms contacting me." "Affection ignores bond terms." The server summoned authorities. Natalie got nabbed. Again, bond yanked. She cooled in federal hold for 3 months next. Barbara mailed me a $50 K-tab for wrecking her girl's path and family anguish. I relayed it to the lead counsel, who slotted it into clan coercion proofs. Richard made a final bro-to-bro bid. Ambushed me at my fitness spot. She's minimum 10 years, halt it. Nah, can't, multiple federal breaches. She's merely a lass craving a grand right. She's a 33-year-old committing electronic deceit. No dude will cherish you for this. Fine by me if fraud fans skip me, Richard. He swung at me, actually. In a gym, cams and eyes everywhere, tacked assault to the kin's rap sheet. Final update. The hearing spanned 3 sessions. Proofs crushed, the mimicked financing docs. The scam cards, the fabricated messages, chats owning it all, ex-victim accounts. The ethereal union shield, the bench chuckled outright. Natalie testified despite counsel's plea. Epic. All for passion, how's passion criminal? Nah, it's not, this targets females. How so? A guy wouldn't face heat for sustaining kin. A guy pulling electronic deceit would face full heat. She then alleged I'd psyched her into deceit by skimping romance, and the financings offset her relational toil. The panel pondered 2 hours. Guilty across the board, electronic deceit, identity misuse, document mimicry, evidence faking, probe blocking, doom hit hard. The bench, a stern dame in her 60s, eviscerated Natalie. Miss Morrison, you've displayed nil regret, nil ownership, nil grasp of your acts. You've toyed with this tribunal via wild tales of ethereal ties and astral links. You've cast yourself as sufferer while gutting folks' finances. You're no passion protagonist, you're a repeat scammer. 8 years federal lockup, 3 years oversight, total payback to Marks. Barbara shrieked. Carly swooned or staged it. Richard required bailiff holds. Natalie eyed me as escorts led her off. I'll pine for you, our bond's timeless. Seek aid, Natalie. You're my eternal match. The escort hauled her amid howls of passion prevailing. Barbara lunged a glob at me courtside. Whiffed, nailed a scribe. Hit the nightly broadcast, the afterword. The institution waived the scam financing, proven I was clueless. My scores mended. I'm in counseling, unpacking the scar of near-hitching a manipulator deeming deceit affectionate. I still hold the betrothal band. Pawned it, banked the haul for a solo getaway. Flawless. The other Marks and I run a chat thread. Dubbed Natalie Escapees League. Derek just pledged to fresh turf. His intended finds the saga riotous, quips it's why she mandates finances walled off pre-vows. Word is, Natalie's penning a tome from the clink on passion's persecution. Tentative tag, scam and bias, a contemporary romance. The house balked. Barbara and Richard liquidated their pad for legal tabs and suits galore. They finger me, not their girl, with felony stacks. Carly launched a site on tribunal flaws. Boasts 12 subs, kin heavy. The event hall clung to the $5 K upfront via scam card. Now a warning in their deals on payment vetting. The gown outlet. Suing Natalie for the $12 K frock from the cuffing. Seems frocks in Fed hold don't refund. Me? Back in the dating pool, cautiously, deep vetting. My current flame deems the yarn bonkers, just she'll stick to infractions for me, skip majors. Oddly sweet, the takeaway, when folks reveal their core, especially via crimes tagged as affection, trusted and bolt, swift. Plus, routinely scan your financial trail. Always.